Cooper. Alright, what's good everybody? It's your boy Akin here to give you a scout report on wide receiver Cooper Kupp coming out of Eastern Washington. He's actually one of the most prolific wide receivers in FCS history. Scratch that, the most prolific wide receiver in FCS history. Had a tremendous career for Eastern Washington, and he is actually one of my top 10 wide receivers entering this year's draft. Now, he's actually hailing from Yamaka, Washington in state, and it was a little bit surprising seeing that he's having such a illustrious career at Eastern Washington. I was surprised he wasn't really heavily recruited coming out of high school, but he wasn't heavily recruited. He only received scholarship offers from Eastern Washington and Idaho State, and decided to stay in state. And like I said, he had an amazing career. 428 yards, 28 receptions, 6,464 yards in receiving, and 73 receptions for touchdowns. He had a great career, actually earning the Jerry Rice Award winner, given to the nation's top freshman, as well as the Walter Payton Award, given to the nation's best offensive player. This is a great player for everybody to watch. Now, let's talk about his strengths and weaknesses. First, his strength. He does have the adequate height that you're looking for, and weight at 6'2", 215 pounds. He has gliding straight line speed and a crafty route runner. He's actually does a good job setting up defenders and using hesitation to create spacing. So that shows he has good route running ability and create separation between him and the opposing defenders. He's capable of the big play with 37 receiving plays in his career of at least 40 yards. That is a big key thing. And he is like I said, an All-American. He does have bloodlines. His father did play in the NFL as well as his grandfather, so he's looking to do the same thing, holding just about every single record receiving. Reminds me a lot of Jerry Rice during his play in the National Football League. But let's not kid ourselves here. It is very too soon to give Kupp that honor. I'm talking about him as an honor in college football. Now, he does have some weaknesses though. He does have long marginal long speed and lacks explosive twitches as far as his patterns. He needs to work on that a little bit more as far as his explosiveness. He relies more on timing than bursts to create separation in mind route, but in mid route. But as far as his timing, it actually shows that he has good brains as far as creating more time. And he does need to improve his hands to use in beat press and use himself better in the top of his routes. Just needs to do a better job at that, and just try to create more separation. But I think also the biggest concern is that the fact that he played at the FCS level, and that is the biggest concern. But let's just give you some little bit more information. He actually had over 700 yards receiving against FCS opponents, including a big game against Washington State in 2016. And he had 11 scores in 4 career games versus Pac-12 opponents. He did play against Pac-12 teams. Now, I don't really think it should be too much of a concern. I think this is a talented wide receiver. Now, for my projection, I actually have him as a second-round pick of this year's draft, at worst a third-round pick. Now, the next time I catch you guys will be in just a couple minutes. I believe I have 4 more blogs for today. Thank you for watching this blog. I'm your man, Akin McCall.